Trick or treat. No, it's not Halloween. It's a typical social situation where your child needs to effectively interact with others. Both kids and adults who lack social emotional intelligence tend to hide behind masks when in social situations. But effective leaders have no masks. They connect with people authentically. I want to share some tricks so your child can be a treat when interacting with others. Imagine your child walking into a room full of strangers. They confidently introduce themselves, actively listen, and leave with new friends and respect from others. That's just not charisma. That's social emotional intelligence, SEI. It's the cornerstone of great leadership. Let's explore what SEI is, why it matters, and how you can actively help your child develop these skills through simple, everyday practices.
Welcome to another edition of KidLead Academy training series with Dr. Alan E. Nelson, designed to help parents develop their children to lead so they can succeed. And now, here's Alan.
So what is socio-emotional intelligence? Well, SEI is the ability to recognize and manage your own emotions, empathize with others, and build strong, healthy relationships. For children and teens, this means learning how to navigate feelings, resolve conflicts, and adapt in social settings. Dr. Daniel Goleman, one of the leading voices in emotional intelligence, puts it this way. Emotional intelligence accounts for 85% of what sets top performers apart from others. For leaders, SEI is critical. Leaders aren't just people who give orders. They're social architects who inspire collaboration, build trust, and resolve conflicts. Without SEI, leadership doesn't thrive, it stumbles. Here's why this is a game changer for your child's future. Children with strong SEI are 54% more likely to succeed academically and socially. Leaders with high SEI are 32% more effective in managing teams. So whether your child becomes a CEO, an entrepreneur, or a team player, these skills set them apart. They're not just leading, they're thriving in relationships, school, and eventually the workplace. Let me offer you a quick back-of-a-napkin assessment to estimate your child's SEI level. Here's a 5-question SEI assessment. Let's evaluate your child's current socio-emotional intelligence. For each statement, rate your child from a 1 to 5 scale. 1 is rarely or never, all the way up to 5, that is always. So it'll be a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. All right, here are 5 questions. Number 1, my child recognizes and labels their emotions. 1, rarely or never. 2, 3, 4, or all the way to 5, which is always. Question number 2. My child shows empathy and understands how others feel. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is rarely or never. 5 is always. Number 3. My child manages frustration or disappointment without outbursts. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And number 4, my child resolves conflicts with peers calmly and fairly. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And question number 5, my child adapts their behavior in new or challenging social settings. All right, now that you have the 5 numbers, you're going to add them up and I'm going to give you a score. This is just an approximate. This gives you an idea of where perhaps they are in their development. If it was a score of 21 to 25, that reflects high SEI. Your child is a social rock star. A score of 16 to 20 is developing SEI. That's a solid foundation, but there's room to grow. And a score of 15 or below is emerging SEI. Focused support can help them unlock their potential. So let's dive into 4 actionable strategies, 4 practical ways that you can help them thrive and develop their SEI. Number 1, teach emotional vocabulary. Name it to tame it. Here's how to apply it. When your child is upset, pause and ask, can you tell me what you're feeling right now? Guide them to label their emotions. Are you angry, frustrated, disappointed, afraid, hungry, tired, help me understand. Let me give you an example. Suppose your 8-year-old didn't get invited to a friend's birthday party. Instead of saying, don't be sad, you might say, it sounds like you're feeling left out. That's hard, but it happens to all of us. Let's talk about how you can feel better. This builds their emotional awareness and gives them tools to process feelings. Number 2, model empathy. Walk in someone else's shoes. For example, use everyday moments to discuss how others might feel. After watching a movie or reading a story, ask, why do you think the character felt that way? What would you have done differently? For example, when the child notices a classmate crying at school, you could say, what do you think might be bothering them? If you were feeling that way, what would help you feel better? These simple questions foster empathy. A third thing is practice problem solving. Think before you act. Help your child slow down and think through solutions during conflicts. Instead of fixing the problem for them, ask guiding solutions. What could you do to make things better? How do you think your sibling would feel if you did that? For example, if your child and their sibling are fighting over a video game controller, resist the urge to intervene immediately. Instead, say, what's a solution that works for both of you? Could you take turns? Or find another game you both like? Teaching them to brainstorm solutions equips them for future challenges. And a fourth idea you can use is role-play social scenarios. Rehearse for real life. Practice makes perfect. Role-play everyday situations like introducing themselves to a new friend or resolving disagreements or apologizing sincerely. For example, before a play date, you might say, hey, let's pretend I'm your new friend. How would you introduce yourself? Or, if your child struggles with saying, I'm sorry, have them practice a sincere apology. I'm sorry for taking your toy without asking. Next time, I'll check first. These exercises build confidence and social skills in low-stakes settings. Why should we invest in SEI? Well, in this context, it's because leadership begins with understanding people, and understanding people starts with understanding ourselves. By developing your child's socio-emotional intelligence, you're equipping them to navigate life's challenges, lead with empathy, and build meaningful relationships. As Nelson Mandela wisely said, a good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. Developing your child's socio-emotional intelligence is very important. It's important for all people, but it is essential for leaders to be effective. I hope you're enjoying this series. Remember, if you want your child to succeed, develop them to lead.